focus on who you are inside and become the wise woman warrior that's just inside of you. Let it guide you and just know that you are who you are meant to be and where you are meant to be. And your journey starts now. And I wake up every day, even if it's a tough day, I'm smiling, I'm laughing. It's time for each of us to stop doing what we've been taught to do in this life, to problem solve and to run towards a goal. We never get there. And what we need to do is just immerse ourselves in living and enjoy the moment.
Hey everybody, it's Chris Duncan here. I'm so excited to introduce you to one of my co-authors, Dee Murphy, who is an inspiring person. I've read your book. My team helped write your book, which is Embracing the Warrior Within. We've been at events together, and now we're co-authors in this amazing Superconscious manifestation book. But what I love the most about you is the depth it seems you have. You've been in this work for quite a while. I'd love you just to share a little intro of yourself and maybe why you're inspired to contribute to this book.
Thank you, Chris. I'm here not just to share, but to resonate with those who are in the audience and part of the team. And I just want to say to them, if something stirs in you today, something familiar, ancient, or quietly electric, it's not a coincidence. It's your imagination station, your superconscious, your infinite self saying it's time. Wow. And I'm Dee Murphy. I'm a veteran, holistic nurse, author, and a guide for those who are interested in thriving, not just surviving.
Wow. And what an intro that is. So if someone is feeling that pulse or that vibration, that resonance, what would you say to them?
Tune in and ask, what's my next step? And be very clear about what it is you are looking for. And I tell people it's generally not a thing, and you need to stop running towards something. You need to just get quiet and go for the feeling that you really want, not just the thing, because that's the most important thing in life is feeling the way you want to feel. And I wake up every day, even if it's a tough day, I'm smiling, I'm laughing, because I have rituals, and you focus a lot on those too. Daily rituals about what's my focus, what's it going to be like, what steps am I going to take today, and to just do it. And life's a blast, even during the tough times. There's always a reason to smile.
There is. What a great perspective as well, because so often we give the power to something else. This thing is going to make me happy. If it's not there, I'm unhappy. And we lose a lot of life that way. So we've co-authored this book along with 11 other amazing authors called Superconscious Manifestation. And this is something that I'm very passionate about, and you are as well. Your chapter it's a really good chapter. So if anyone's listening to this, you need to go get our book, Superconscious Manifestation. But for you, what is the main message that you wanted to get across in your chapter about superconscious manifestation?
It's time for each of us to stop doing what we've been taught to do in this life, to problem solve and to run towards a goal. We never get there. And what we need to do is just immerse ourselves in living and enjoy the moment, be present. Notice all of your senses. Take time out to be with yourself. And the more you focus on being present and maybe a goal, a feeling you want to have, the more things start to happen. And it's a lot of fun. If you want to reawaken your intuition, start sort of building rituals, daily things that get you to focus on little bitty successes one at a time.
Yeah.
We need to recognize our internal compass that we've been trained to forget. We were born to survive. We learned how to get what we wanted. We solved problems because we relied on others and we had to get our message across. We weren't trained to be part of who we really are. And that's this intuitive energy being where we can create whatever we want. And my life is a series of creations. And it's like when you get hit with, all right, I call it 2x4 therapy. You need to figure out what the message is and where you were heading that you forgot to head towards, and just do it. Just figure out why you're stuck. And I think a lot about some of the things that you've talked about. And I use an example for people that I work with, my clients. They're always trying to lose weight or get a better body. And I say, what happens when you lose your keys? You find it. So if you're losing weight, your body, your mind learns to find more weight so you can lose more weight. I said, it's a never ending cycle. So focus on the bigger picture. How do you want to feel?
That's so beautiful that when you lose your keys, you then want to find them again. So if you lose the weight, you want to go find it again. It's so funny, this idea, and you're touching on it, that we're born into this sort of wrong direction in life. This, I call it the problem orientation. And you touched on it a little bit there. Would you expand a little bit about how our focus is leading our manifestation powers in the wrong direction?
Yeah, we're taught to chase after something. And generally, it's what's acceptable to our family, I call it our core group, our peers, our community, our church, whatever it is that's important to us. We focus on what other people think are important because we want to feel safe. We want to fit in. And over again, we repeat the same behaviors so that we can feel safe. And somehow we were trained that that's the way to get where we want in life. And it doesn't work out. We're just caught in a circle. So it's like
Yeah.
being on a wheel,
Around
constant wheel.
And many people are on that wheel. I talk to a lot of them, and clearly you do as well. So you mentioned that you do coaching. And so who do you coach? Why does someone typically reach out to you for coaching? How does coaching work? What are some of the results someone can expect? Give us a little pitch on your coaching.
Come to me as they want to fix themselves. And you wrote a book on that, which is ironic that it's leading into that, because I tell them, you're not broken. There's nothing to
Yeah.
fix. You're beautiful as you are. And you
Yeah.
haven't learned how to be true to you, how to truly just uncover, get rid of the crap and just be yourself. You haven't learned to be the intuitive, creative self that you are. I grew up looking for magic. I began doing journeying and traveling in my mind when I was around 6 years old. I self-taught just because I was curious, and I seldom fit in throughout life. And so for my clients, when they come to me, I listen. We do an assessment because I'm a holistic nurse, so that's a little piece of it too. But as part of working on what isn't quite right in their body, they come to me with pain, depression, whatever. I also take a look at their mindset. What is it that you focus on a lot? What is it that really just keeps you awake at night? If only I had this.
Yes.
And so together we start just peeling back the layers. And the key is, so many of them think, oh, you're going to give me tough stuff to do like meditation and all of that. And I say, no, you just need to decide how you want to feel, and we're going to work towards that. A lot of my clients I work with women veterans, and I call them the forgotten country because they're less than 1% here in the United States of the adult population. So they're a very small group, but the numbers have been increasing because more and more women have been volunteering for military service. And because everything is geared towards men, and it's not a negative, it just is because the nature of war is generally geared towards men, is the women veterans don't have a place when they come out. Society thanks the man standing next to them for his service when actually it's the woman who was the veteran, and just things like that. So I work with women veterans on focus on who you are inside and become the wise woman warrior that's just inside of you,
Wow.
just trying to come out. And we have
Wow.
a lot of fun with that. We've got some downtimes, and some people may come back and say, oh, I had a really crap week. And then we just unpeel the layers and focus on, I call it reorientation. It's you get your head back in the game of creating the life you want, not what somebody else thinks you should do or have
Wow,
or be.
amazing. A wise warrior, wake up, whatever. It sounded amazing when you said it. I stumbled on it there, but it's so great what you're doing. I love your energy. as I see behind you, you've got life architect and work with me to design and rebuild your life. And it seems that veterans coming back into civilian life, that's really what they need, is to design or rebuild. But it's not just them. A lot of people, the life they have felt trapped in a prison, and they need to start again. Today can be the first day of the rest of your life, and they need to do that. So I get that your first piece of advice is going to be start with the feeling of how you want to feel and then set morning or daily rituals. We haven't touched on that very much here yet. What daily rituals do you suggest that people have as something to help them design or
Yeah,
rebuild?
I have them start simple, so build it up. First is focus on breathing, being clear about what you want. It can be a
Mm,
goal, not just a feeling. Being clear on what you want, not a whole bunch of stuff. If you want a new house, fine. You want a new body, fine. We'll work on it. Keep it simple and clear, and then breathe. And you need to, I call it, immerse yourself totally in who you want to become or what it is you want to have as part of your created life. And so you visualize it. And the hard part for people is immersing themselves in all of their senses, including their intuition. Some people don't know how to do it. So I work with them to say, okay, think of something where it just makes you smile. For some, it's holding a baby or watching a child learn to walk or remembering a memory with a family member or a friend. And so that's your beginning. You're feeling the joy. You have a memory of, and while you're in that memory, what are you noticing? What are you smelling? What are you feeling? What are you tasting? What are you noticing? What are you hearing? And so the hard part is getting people to notice all of their senses. We just go through life ignoring them. And
right.
so I teach people what's called body signals. I teach them to pay attention to their body and pay attention to their environment around them. And when they ask a question and darn, I didn't get an answer, I start smiling. And so I say to them, after you ask the question to the universe, your infinite self, or whatever, what's the first thing that happened? What popped into your mind? Was it a symbol? Was it a sound? Was it a thought? Did it, as you were walking towards something, you heard a music note or you heard a song? We
Yeah.
get our answers in so many different ways, and we're just not in tune with it. So that's part
Yeah.
of how I work with people is we went from rituals where it's brain visualize and then ask what's the next step and trust that it'll come. And if I have
Wow.
time for a little bit of example,
Yeah.
I ask this question all the time. And I was going towards certification in healing touch, and I knew it had a process all mapped out. But I also had been establishing my team's business, thriving, easy, amazing, money making, and self sustaining business. So I call it teams. And I was given a vision of the tree of life as my next step. And I went, cool. All right. So I know that the next step is going to happen when that sort of pops in, wherever it's going to be. And I don't look for it, it just happens. That's the other thing. Just know that it's going to be there. And it took a few weeks, and I had to choose a mentor for my healing touch practice. And so I had to go through a long list. And I had looked at everybody's websites and all that. But just 5 minutes before I was to talk to my mentor, she became my mentor, is I noticed for the first time on her website was the tree of life. And I went,
Wow.
wow. So I told her, I said, you're it. And this is why. And I explained to her. But what was odd, and again, this is an example I use because we logically think when we want to accomplish something, like for me, it's my team's business. My next step with Healing Touch was already mapped out. The program is specific, it's got step by step. But I didn't see that as something I needed to be on top of or get guided towards. But in this case, my next step for my team's business was to connect with my mentor.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, I'm done with the tree of life. Darn, in the last class of Healing Touch, where I figure I'm going to get my certification and I'm done. I can continue to practice. No, in the last class, the teacher held up a candle with the tree of life on it. And I started laughing. And she asked me, she says, "What's going on?" She says, "I was going to use a different candle, but something guided me to pull out this candle with the tree of life." And I just said, "Okay, so I'm not done with the organization. I have more to do." And right now I'm technical support for a number of the classes, meaning I do Zoom, make sure everybody stays connected and whatever. So I'm continuing to work in the organization of Healing Touch. And by the way, I am certified now, so that's awesome. That goal was to help me get an in-way into the Veterans Administration, because they recognize Healing Touch for as a service that they provide to the veterans. And so I figured that's one way to get my foot in the door and get to meet people in the VA and spread my word out there about what I have to offer and what we can do together.
Oh, it's amazing, Dee, and I love your passion for this. I feel like you could talk about this forever, which is when I know that this is someone's in
I
their
could.
zone of genius. So, listeners, if you're out there and this is something that you want to step into with Dee, obviously her book, Embracing the Warrior Within, a new book coming out, I can see there as well. I'll put all the links to connect with Dee underneath this video, and obviously you could just Google and find Dee Murphy, Life Architect, go find her. But please do one thing. Go get your copy of our book, Superconscious Manifestation. Dee's chapter is phenomenal. The other 11 chapters are great. My chapter's okay as well. It's a really good overview of what a lot of people believe. So, Dee, we've come to the end of our short podcast. Is there anything you'd like to leave the listener with, or any final things on your heart you wanted to share before we say goodbye?
Sure. Thank you, Chris. I just want everyone to think about, this isn't about self-improvement. It's about returning to yourself. This is your signal, your invitation, as it were, whether you call it superconscious, infinite self, imagination station, or the soul. It's alive within you. Let it out, let it guide you, and just know that you are who you are meant to be and where you are meant to be. And your journey starts now. So if you're feeling something that's stirring within you, it's not just words, you're remembering. And you're not broken, you're not late. Your signal is live, the portal's open, and your journey is beginning. So just be true to you. Listen to yourself. And when somebody gives you a piece of advice, it's a piece of advice, but follow what resonates within you. And thank you so much, Chris. This has been a blast. Too short, but a blast.
Yeah. Oh, we could talk forever, Dee. I so appreciate you. So, listeners, follow your heart. Do what you need to do. Stay focused. Stay super conscious. Create what you love. Stay in your end result, and really follow your intuition. Thank you so much, Dee, for spending some time. Thank you for your amazing chapter in this book. I can't wait for people to read it. And listeners, go get your copy. Click the link below. Grab your version of this book. It will change your life. We guarantee it. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Dee. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.